Hello again, everybody. This is Patrick Pendel from VC Solutions. Today, we're going to be speaking with Jim Porcarelli, one of the most recent Vistage chairs in Manhattan. Good morning, Jim. How are you today?
Good morning, Patrick.
I know we've had a conversation in the past, and I wanted to bring up a couple of topics due to the ever-changing world that we're living in, the way that companies have had to pivot because of the world circumstances that have changed, both the business world and the regular everyday living of individuals. I wanted to really go into a little bit more about what Vistage is and talk about you and talk about Vistage, if you would take a moment to go into that.
Sure, Patrick, happy to. Vistage is a 60-year-old organization, and it operates in 26 countries. It has 25,000 members, so it's been doing this with a lot of people for quite some time. And what Vistage does is it works with executives to become better leaders and to help them make better decisions. And here's how we do it. One, there are group meetings monthly where the team comes together, and that is a peer group of other executives who process issues that confront them and talk about the things that are on their mind so that they can improve their decision-making processes. We bring in a speaker who is responsible either on a current topic or with best practices that operates a workshop. We do a hosting session where each member does a deep dive each meeting on their business so that the group has an integral understanding of what each other wakes up to each day. And then we do issue processing, which is really where the magic happens. That's where each peer member brings in issues that confront them that month that they would like an unbiased input in. And then in addition to that, I will, as the chair, spend 2 hours once a month with each member, mentoring, coaching, helping them along with the thoughts that they had, perhaps even some of the things that we talked about in the meeting to do a deeper dive. And the last component is access to our Vistage Portal, which is a 24/7 feature that gives them access to people around the world who are expert in specific areas or categories. They can join networks. There are more than 35 networks that are forums about major topics within the business world. There's a library of articles and webinars, and there are also featured speakers such as, most recently, sad to say he's no longer with us, but we had Colin Powell as a speaker.
Interesting, very interesting. May I ask if it's okay, if you're able to speak about your group and your team, as I'd like to call it?
Sure, be happy to. Right now, we have 12 members. We're building to 16. We keep it capped at 16 because we think that's really the point at which everyone gets the greatest advantage of each other's input. Right now, the group is comprised of very dynamic industries, everything from fintech to digital advertising agency to sustainability to finance to beauty and fashion and a host of others. And our members really are less about the size of the company or the revenue of the company, and really more about the dynamics of the category that they're in and how intellectually curious they are as leaders. These are people who are expert in specific categories within the business industry. More importantly, they really want to grow as individuals and as leaders, and that's why they join Vistage.
Well, let me ask this last question. What type of topics do you really like to address inside the meetings? When I say address, is it you that brings them up, or is it the other team, other part of the team that brings it up?
Sure, Patrick, be happy to address it. It's the members who bring the issues to the table. I can offer them as well, but there's so much going on in the business world today that each month there is a whole selection of ideas and questions that these CEOs have. And most recently, we've processed everything and talked about how to launch a successful IPO, which one of our members just did, how to raise capital, whether it's seed round for a young company that's burgeoning, or whether it's a multi-billion-dollar company that is actually looking for global investors. So there are a lot of business issues, but there are also a lot of personal issues. Some want to know, how do I balance life work and the pressures that they put upon. Some issues, there are many issues around family-owned businesses and the uniqueness and the problems that brings to the CEOs. So there's any one of a number of topics, none that are necessarily predictable, but all that are very current.
Listen, I thank you for going through that. I know that these were really kind of sticking out, and a lot of people had come back and were asking these questions. They were intrigued by our first interview, our first conversation, and they wanted to know more. And I thank you for carving some time out in this very hectic holiday season and being able to speak clearly and transparently on exactly what Vistage is and what it does and who it attracts. And I thank you for taking the time today. I really do.
Sure, happy to do it. Thanks for your help.